Namaste. In history classes, we learn about Stone Age, Iron Age, Bronze Age, etc. Many years down the line, when the history of our times is discussed, it will probably be called this Plastic Age. Plastic is everywhere and has become an inseparable part of our lives. So much so that it is present in the food we consume, water we drink, and the air we breathe in. In 2019, researchers from Medical University of Vienna, Austria, published a paper. In that study, they looked at the stool samples of people from different countries and found that all of them had plastic particles. Some 9 different types of plastics were identified, and at least 20 plastic particles were present in every 10 grams of sample they looked at. In another study, this time in France, scientists discovered tiny pieces of plastic raining from the sky. In this case, they recorded a daily rate of 365 plastic particles per square meter. The tiny plastic particles found in soil, water, air, and in our bodies are called the microplastics. They are pervasive in our environment but are invisible to the naked eye. How are microplastics formed? How are they getting into our bodies? How are we contributing to that? And how can we avoid ingesting them? Answers to these and more coming up. I am Madhavan and this is The Basement. Plastic is a material formed by interlinking of long chains of molecules made of carbon and hydrogen. For example, this is the chemical formula of polythene terephthalate or PET, the material used to make plastic bottles like this. Because they are light, durable, and can be molded into any shape that we want, plastics have become an ubiquitous part of our lives. By some estimates, around 300 million tons of plastic is produced every year. According to one report, an average Indian uses about 11 kilograms of plastic products in various forms in a year. Almost 50% of this is single-use plastic like the covers. From polythene shopping bags to the toothpaste to food storage boxes to shoes and our clothes, everything we use has plastic in one form or the other. Have you ever wondered what happens to all this plastic after we are done using them? Only about 10% or less is recycled. About 8 million tons of plastic is dumped into our oceans every year, and a lot more is dumped into landfills. As you may have heard before, the plastic that we dispose of takes thousands of years to completely decompose. But it can break down into smaller sized pieces. The plastic fragments that are smaller than 5 millimeters are called microplastics. Though a 5 millimeter upper limit is used as a definition, microplastics usually tend to be in the size range that is below the detection limit of naked eye. Microplastics are classified into primary and secondary microplastics. Primary microplastics are those that are intentionally synthesized for use in cosmetic and personal care products. Examples of primary microplastics include plastic microbeads that are added to facial cleansers, scrubs, toothpaste, detergents, etc. Secondary microplastics, on the other hand, are formed by the process that I just described, which is by a breakdown of larger plastic products like bottles, fishing nets, bags, etc. According to one study, there could be anywhere between 15 to 51 trillion microplastic particles floating around in our oceans. Because of their small size, the fish mistake microplastics for food. These microplastic fragments are then absorbed into their circulation and become embedded in their tissues. Till now, microplastics have been found in more than 114 species of fishes and other marine organisms. Microplastics in ocean are also consumed by birds that are dependent on marine ecosystem. From the oceans, microplastics make their way to our dinner tables via these fish and birds. Microplastics have also been found in other food products such as table salt and seaweeds. According to one research report from Australia, people consume about 5 grams of microplastics per week. That is, as much plastic is as present in a credit card. Another way in which microplastics enter our body is through the air we breathe. It has been found that workers in textile and PVC industries are prone to inhaling these from their surroundings. Another example is the study that I cited in the introduction, where microplastics were collected from the rain. Microplastics are also present in the water we drink. It is now well known that chemicals in plastic slowly leach into the water stored in plastic bottles. Additionally, the microplastics included in cleansers, shampoos, detergent, etc. are washed off and enter our water sources. These are small enough to escape the treatment processes. As per one report published by World Health Organization, microplastics of different sizes and shapes and composition are widely found in both surface and drinking water sources. It is reported that as many as 1,000 to 10,000 particles of microplastics are found in a liter of water, including in bottled water. So, should we be worried about these microplastics that we are eating, drinking, and breathing in? There is no research as yet suggesting that consuming microplastics can directly impact human health. However, studies in mice have shown that microplastics accumulate in kidneys, liver, and gut and can cause disturbance in mouse metabolism. Tissue damage due to microplastics has also been reported in marine organisms. It has also been reported that microplastic ingestion reduces appetite, thereby leaving less energy for other life functions such as reproduction and physical growth of fish. This is relevant not only for human health but also to the economy, as it can have a profound impact on the livelihood of the fishing folk. Microplastics have also been found to be especially effective in absorbing harmful chemicals and pathogenic microbes found in their environment, such as the oceans. Once inside the human body, these could cause illness. Then, what can we do to reduce and limit our exposure to microplastics? As I said in the beginning, microplastic is now an inseparable part of our lives. But we can take many steps to reduce our exposure and that of our future generations. Minimize the use of plastics in your day-to-day life as much as possible. Do not heat or cook food with plastic utensils or in plastic containers. Try to avoid food with plastic packaging. Reduce the household dust that can carry microplastics. If you are in the habit of using tea bags, watch out for the plastic used to make the bags or as adsorbents. Avoid using cleansers, shampoos or toothpaste that contain microbeads. Instead, consider using products with natural ingredients like almond shells. If you are going shopping, carry a cloth or jute bag instead of asking for single-use polythene bags. Most importantly, while using plastics, keep in mind the 3R rule: reduce, reuse, recycle. That's today's episode. Hope you find it useful. Please like and subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends. If you have feedback or a question, feel free to leave a comment. Till I see you again, Namaste.